You know, my partner, we talk about my past things that when I worked, and I worked as a paralegal. So my partner challenged me to start doing a chronicle and talk about the stories that I'm about to tell you dealing with situation. You know, there's a reason why women are called side chicks. This is a good story. You know, this man hired me a long time ago to do a divorce. And he was married, and he wanted to divorce his wife to marry the side chick. He had been with the side chick for over 10 years. Over 10 years. He'd been with the side chick over 10 years. And they had a beautiful relationship. She listened. She cooked. Every time he came over there, she cooked a meal. She made sure his bath water was ran. She portrayed the biggest romantic thing that he had ever experienced. She sat with him and she talked about his ideals. She told him what he wanted to hear. She encouraged him when he was feeling low. And she just made him feel like he was needed and wanted and loved. Versus the wife, who they had 2 children, that had grown up and everything, and you know, they went through their things and stuff. So the man went through the process, and you know, I did the paperwork, and I'm like, okay, you know, wife was giving him a little static about it. She was, you know, she said, I want this, I want that, and he was kind of fighting it, and I'm typing up stuff that he wanted me to type because he didn't want to give her everything she wanted. So they're going through the divorce and everything, and you know, and the side chick got excited. I guess she was next in line. She started asking him about when I called him or he called me. She had to hear the conversation. She wanted to hear. Of course. That's her man. That's her man now. She started to ask me questions while he was there. I had to ask, you know, do I have your permission to ask? He said, yeah, sure. This is my lady. This is the woman that listens to me. Of course you can. So I'm explaining her the process. You know, this is what may gonna happen and blah, 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 this. Got to the point, I guess she went through his phone. One day I got a call from the side chick. She says, hey. She says, he been in the divorce proceedings for 6 months now. It should have been over with. What is taking so long? Ma'am, I can't discuss that with you. You didn't pay me. What? But you've been knowing me. I've been on the phone. Yeah, but he was with you. Now he's not, and I'm not. No, because that's gossiping, and I'm not doing that. So the wife ended up getting the house. She got temporary spousal support. Wasn't a lot, but it was a little. She had a job. And he was divorced. Oh, the side chick was just so happy. Oh, I got my man. Because this man wasn't just, you know, he wasn't making low money. He was making a nice little sum of money. He was able to sustain 2 households. So it wasn't like he didn't have no money. You know, he got a divorce. He said, Miss Mount, they finally signed my divorce decree. He said, oh, I'm so happy. He said, I said, so when? I said, well, I'm happy for you. I said, well, you know, in 30 days, you'll be officially, you know, divorced and you can go. He said, well, I don't know if I'm gonna wait that long, cause so-and-so now, the side chick, now, she said she ready. She been ready. She been ready for 10 years and she ready to go at it. I said, okay. I said, well, I guess congratulations. He said, Miss Samantha, he said, is there any advice that you want to tell me for me to be able to sustain this marriage? That was the wrong question to ask me. I said, do you want to hear it from my perspective as a business person, or do you want me to talk to you like a friend, or do you want to talk to me, you want me to talk to you like it would be my son that brought a woman home and in this situation? He said, well, I want you to, he said, well, I already know your business. He said, I think I know what your business thing is. He said, but I want to know what would you give me? What advice you would give me? Personal advice. And he said, talk to me like I was your son. I said, okay. I said, I said, the question is, are you going to listen, or you just going to be mad at me? I said, because either way is, I just want to know. He said, I ain't going to be mad at you because I'm asking you for the advice. I said, baby, don't you marry that woman. There's a reason why they call her the side chick. I said, she know too much about you. I said, what you did was you took all that drama that you claimed that was at your married life, and then you told her everything like she was a therapist. Now she got more information on you than she have in 10 years than your wife did. I said, y'all didn't meet on good terms because you was already married in a relationship when you met her. I said, and I guarantee you that is worse, that if you marry her, that's going to be worse than what you did when you had with your wife, because your wife had to find you out and figure you out and do all this. This one right here got a cheat sheet because you gave it to her. I said, don't marry her. And if you marry her, do a prenup. He got quiet. He didn't say anything. Hello? Are you still on the phone? Yeah, Miss Samantha, I'm on the phone. He said, but she been there for me. No, she ain't been there for you, baby. She ain't been there for you, because if she been there for you, she would have told you to go home and handle your damn business and then told you to come to her the right way. But she didn't do that to love you. She did it to invest in you. You some sort of investment. You a monetary investment. You need to run from that. You need to tell her you're not ready to get married yet, because you just got out of divorce and you need to heal. I said, but you jumping from one place to another, you're going to end up in a situation that's worse than what you just left. He said, okay. He said, thank you. He said, can I invite you to the wedding? No, you can't, but you can invite me to the reception, because I know you're going to have some good food there. She going to make sure she have the good food. While he was planning his divorce, she was planning a wedding. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. I didn't go to the wedding. I went to the reception. Oh, they had some of the best champagne. They had the best food. Oh, her gown was like $3,500. Oh, they was the perfect couple. Oh, it was just so gorgeous. Looked like a fairy tale wedding. Of course it was. It was her fairy tale. Because she got the man. She got him. Oh, they just took pictures, and they smiled and they did all the thing. And I just sat there and I said, well, the bar's free, and the food is free. And you know what? He said, Miss Samantha, I want to introduce you to my wife, Miss Side Chick, Mrs. Side Chick. Nice to meet you, Mrs. Side Chick. I heard some things about you. You the one. I finally got to meet the woman that was helping him get a divorce. She had to put the face with what I really told her. She had to see who she was fooling with. Congratulations. You know. Yeah, we gonna be married a long time. Oh, okay. All right. You don't have to convince me. Well, 3 years passed. Oh, his first marriage was like 15. But 3 years passed. I'm driving. I get a phone call. It's Mr. Happy. He said, Miss Samantha, how you doing? He ain't even wait for me to answer. He said, do you still draft up divorces? I said, yeah. I said, but my prices went up because it's been a long time. He said, He said, I think I may need you. I said, okay. I said, well, let me ask you a question. I said, did you take that second advice I gave you? He said, no, what was the second advice? I told you. I told you don't marry her. And if you did, get a prenup. Or better yet, put your stuff in trust. Put all your stuff in trust. Put it in somebody's name. Did you do that? No, I had plans on doing it. By this time, his income had increased. By this time, his retirement was looking good. By this time, everything that he wasn't paying child support, he was able to save up. He had paid off all his bills. The house was paid for. He had established a financial portfolio that was full of just, laid back. He could retire if he wanted to. He didn't know what it was to the first divorce didn't get him, but he was able to bounce back real quick. But the second one was a little bit different. How is it different? Because she took all that information between him and his wife, and she used it for her advantage. She knew where everything was at. She knew how to locate it. She didn't have no problem. She had the house appraised while he was at work. So you don't have a prenup. Everything is open, marital property, and you married the side chick. See, side chick didn't have a lot of stuff going on. See, he paid her bills and he took care of her and he gave her a credit card and all of that. So side chick didn't want to go back to, her lifestyle because she was used to his lifestyle, his income and all of that. So side chick wasn't going back to that. So she had to do what she had to do. He said, Miss Samantha, I think she's cheating on me. I said, well, what gives you that idea? He said, I went out of town, and when I came back, it was a condom behind the bed. He said, we ain't never used it. And well, at least she practicing safe sex. I give her that. Told him my price. She took him to the cleaners. Had a field day. Now, she don't have to work. She don't have to worry. And of course, she got the house. Yeah. Like I said, there's a reason why they are called side chicks. And every time a man thinks that a side chick don't want to be the top chick, he's a fool. He's an idiot. She's always claiming to be number one. The problem is, everybody else see her claiming, except you. Paralegal Chronicles.